I think that that is a huge part to being able to get a grant or get funding. And I know that things are a little bit different right now. You can't like go in and shake people's hands, but you can jump on a Zoom call with people. You can, have a conversation and let people know your story. You have a story that pulls on people's heartstrings.
I decided I was going to open a showroom/training center for doing what I want to do. And so I just set up in September. I opened the door in October and struggled to find marketing, and lost money during the process of trying to get marketing and all that. Nothing. So February now we started having the buzz about this pandemic. And so the end of February, I had to make the decision to close my spa. And so when I closed the spa and I came home, an idea of the virtual spa was something that was always inside of me. And I've always been wondering, is that possible? Can that be done? I want people to be able to do their own facials at home. So I want to sell them the home use equipment for them to be able to do it. And so the problem I'm having is I have no money. I didn't get no stimulus. I didn't get no unemployment. I didn't get no business grant. I got nothing at all. So,
Wow.
It's kind of like, that's been something burning inside. I feel like that was my $1 million idea, of the concept, the way it was.
You have a lot of ideas and it seems like you're very capable. You've had a multi-six-figure business before, so I'm sure you can do it again. How long would it take you to take the idea to conception for the at-home spa?
This is where I found the manufacturer with the products that I can start with, that I can use. It wouldn't take no more than a month to 6 weeks.
Great. Wow. That's amazing. Okay. Then I think that's really smart, because if you can take something from an idea to conception in that short amount of time, have it up online and ready to sell, then that seems like a short win for you, especially in the position that you're in where you had to sell and you're needing short-term income.
Yeah, I'm kind of like starting over.
Yeah.
I have an idea of the next steps. My biggest problem, honestly, is the money to do it. What I was thinking of, I know other estheticians and people that's in the business that's feeling the hurt right now. So I was thinking of proposing to them the idea of they doing it with their client base for what they already have. And so they will buy from me on a wholesale scale to sell it back to their clients.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So on one hand, you have this brilliant idea to start this at-home spa, and you have a need for the funding in order to make it happen. And then also, aside from that, you need to figure out where you're going to get your client base from. And we talked about one of the 3 potential options, which is Patreon. And then as far as getting clients, you have this idea of basically reaching out to other people who have a client base already and doing a deal with them, which is a great idea. I think that's amazing. You can do that both in person with personal relationships, and you can do that online. But if you already know of people, that's a great place to start. So when it comes to the funding, I'll just go through that really quick, and then we can go into getting customers or people involved. So the first option is Patreon. Of course, I'm sure you've heard of Kickstarter. Kickstarter is more money to start your thing. It's like raising money, and then once you get that money, then you use that to start your thing. But Patreon's a little bit different, because that'll put you in a position where, let's say, your friend Sally says, I'm gonna donate $50. Then what's gonna happen is on the first of the month, $50 is gonna come out of Sally's account and go into your PayPal every single month. And you can use that for whatever you need to. Now, you need to offer them something. So technically they're pre-purchasing what you have for sale. And that option, like I said, is just people that you know or people that you don't know but you're doing deals with to get them in the door so that they're on your email list or your text list or whatever that looks like. And then the second option would be getting more traditional funding. Traditional funding could either be from like the SBA, the Small Business Alliance Association, and basically going in and saying, hey, look what's going on in the world right now. Everybody's businesses are in shambles. I have this business idea. I already have a successful business from the past, and basically presenting them a pitch deck, a presentation, sharing with them what your vision is, what your projected numbers are, and just saying, hey, I'm interested in getting a small grant that I don't have to pay back. And I've done that for people before. I've done that for myself before. And that's what allows me to spend as much as 10 grand a month on ads because I got a grant locally. The main thing that I tell people as far as that's concerned is not to submit for grants or funding on the internet to just some random company, because then you're just another piece of paper. And I know that things are a little bit different right now. You can't like go in and shake people's hands, but you can jump on a Zoom call with people. You can, have a conversation and let people know your story. You have a story that pulls on people's heartstrings. And I think that that is a huge part to being able to get a grant or get funding, because the people who sign up for a job, for a career of giving small businesses money, they obviously care about people and want to see people succeed. And then the third one is more on the private investor aspect of things, where if you happen to know someone who has money and is interested in like going into business with you as a silent investor, that's an option as well. But it really just comes down to who you know. And I do tell people that sometimes there are a lot more opportunities in their network than they think. For people who are interested in doing that, I challenge them to just take out their phone and scroll down their entire phone from A to Z and like write down people who their intuition kind of tells them might know somebody. So that's kind of like a way that you can go about that. So out of those three options, what I might consider is just like feeling into which one really feels exciting to you, right? Because part of it is like, sure, you can use your intuition and decide which one is probably the best path, but it's also the one that you're going to be excited the most about and follow through on so that you can achieve the results. Like one, Patreon is you actually building a little web page and shooting a little video and, offering tiers and options for your product and saying, hey, this product is going to cost this much later, but I'm giving it at a discount now for people who pre-order, and then going into reaching out to the local spas and saying, hey, would you be willing to do a deal with me? The grant side of things is creating a pitch, a presentation, telling your story, who you are, what you've been through, crunching your numbers, and then presenting that to a funding source like a grant office. And then the investor would be knowing someone and reaching out to your network. The funding aspect of it, yeah, it's a hurdle. I would just really just take some time to consider which one really feels right and just go full force with that one.
I know that there are funds out there, but it's to get the guidance to be able to, get to the right way of getting in to get it.
Right, yeah, and you have to have a solid pitch deck with all the information that they need, your financial projections. The other side of things is just finding that one person at the grant office, like at the SBA, who's got your back. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. And, especially like at the SBA, and there are different nonprofit organizations that get money from the government, and then their job is to disperse that to different people.
How do you find those people?
First thing I did was I went to the SBA and I said, hey, can you give me a list of different companies that can offer, these small grants? Yeah, there are federal grants, of course, but I recommend state grants, because then you can talk to the person and say, oh yeah, I live over here on something street, and then they just...
Right. And they would understand and know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really just comes down to, a few different elements, but the main two that I would recommend to keep it simple are having a super robust pitch deck that has, a really powerful story and all the numbers that you need so that they know that you understand business. And the other one is just finding that one person that can help you out and just take you under their wing. And that's what they do. It's not like you're reaching out to a CEO and trying to get them to help you.
Right. Yeah.
And I think you get it when it comes to how to get customers. It's just a matter of putting in the legwork, right? Whether that's reaching out to local spas or going on the internet and reaching out to people on social media that already have a following. It's like, the ultimate aspect of marketing comes down to finding people that have your audience and then asking them how you can get in there and access them.
Right. Put anybody in front of me, I can close,
That's awesome.
But it's just getting those. And that's what I struggle with.
I have an idea. So this is usually something that's done with online digital products, not physical products, but it might work for you. You said that your strength is you can sell. If you get the phone with someone, get in front of someone, you believe in your product, you can sell. That being said, what if you were to just skip the funding and just go straight into pre-selling and just reach out to people and say, hey, I'm starting a new thing. COVID happened, all this stuff, tell your story. And then go straight into saying, hey, I'm building these products. This is how much they're going to cost. I'll give them to you for a much more affordable rate. And you could say, I'll refund you your money if I don't get enough people to do pre-sale purchases. And then you can just go around doing what you do best, your core competency, which is selling.
I was told, and more than one person, that I can sell ice to the Eskimos. So I take that as a compliment. I am grateful to God for giving me that confidence to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's the hard part for some people. But for me, I find that easy. The hard part for me is getting the people to come in front of me for me to sell them.
Yeah. So my challenge would be that in the next 48 hours, you have a full plan of what you're going to do in the next, say, 1 to 3 weeks. I don't know how long it'll take you. So the plan would be, first of all, after you have the plan, you create your sales presentation of pre-selling your products.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you have that full presentation where you could jump on a call, you'd be ready to go, then you find the human beings, you find the people by reaching out to spas around town, asking them, figuring out how you're going to connect with them and get their customers, their clients on the phone with you by offering some sort of an agreement with them. And from there, now you're in your core competency, you're super comfortable, you can close your eyes, be half asleep and sell people. And it just takes you to A, create the presentation to sell, which is easy for you, and B, maybe create a presentation to have the agreement with the other spas, and then you're just having to get on one group of calls with spa owners, get agreements, and then get on another group of calls with potential customers. And maybe even you could create an agreement with the whole spa owners where you say, if you'll give me, you're doing well right now, if you'll give me X amount of money and say purchase 50 or 100, then I can use that money. And then you only have to have one customer as opposed to trying to get them to give you a database of their customers.
Right. That's what I had in mind. Also on Facebook, I kind of sought out the makeup artists that are saying to their thing, because I'm like, they too relate. If you're wearing makeup, you need to be cleaning your skin deeply.
Yeah.
But I reached out to 2 and they were they just blew me off. I listened to their lives, I watched their lives, and one of them, when she has her live, she has over 600 people on her live, 1,000.
I actually have one more little challenge. That's a side challenge. It's not as important. What we talked about so far, I think that's your main focus. But this is a possible thing that you could also add in, which is to, once you have your whole presentation, your sales presentation, everything like that, is to shoot a video, tell your story about everything you've gone through and what you're doing now. You're good with you could do it on camera and do it really well. And I think that'll really help, because
one of my daughters did say I should do that, because when I tell my story, it comes across so genuine, and so people can feel the human in me.
And imagine those people that you reaching out to who are just maybe blowing you off. What if those people saw a really beautiful video that you created about your life story? They're probably going to think of you differently. It's very likely that they're just busy and they're like, oh, cool, I'd love to do that. And then they get distracted. But if you really pull on their heartstrings, those people aren't going to forget you.
You know what? I'm going to take that as a priority. I'm going to make that video and, just tell who am I. And I'm just giving the real raw story.
I love that. And I love you, Sue. I think you're an amazing person. And I think that's such a cool idea. And you need to share yourself with the world. I hope you shoot that video. And I hope you send me that video when you shoot it, because
I will.
People need more of that in their lives.
Thank you. I will. I'm going to do that.
Cool. Well, make sure you keep me in the loop of what's going on.
I sure will. I really appreciate you, and I send good energy and good vibration your way for you to continue to help. God's going to bless you tremendously. You'd never know.
Thank you. And does every day.
Right. Because you're doing it from your heart. You don't have to be doing this. So God sees it, and he's going to, trust me, he's going to repay you.
Thank you. Hey, thanks so much for checking out this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot of value from it. And if you know someone who maybe needs their day brightened up, or someone who's just motivated and driven and wants to make a difference, or needs more advice, or whatever it is, I implore you to copy the link and send this to them. Shoot them a text or an email, or share this on the social media platform that you're on now. I'd really appreciate that. It would give me an opportunity to spread this message further and wider. And if I can help you more, then feel free to go to nathen.tv. That's nathen.tv. I have online courses, I have coaching opportunities, things of that nature, whether it be paid or free. I want to do whatever I can to help you live your best life. And additionally, if you want your own free consultation, I give them out from time to time, feel free to text me. My phone number is 310-807-1998, and I'll prompt you with what to do from there. So until next time, stay abundant, stay happy, stay motivated, stay driven, stay focused, and all the other beautiful things. Life is beautiful. No regrets on our deathbed. Chat soon. Thanks.